These are the Delicas, full flat ground, like the Delica G10 that was out earlier in the Spyderco line. That's a full flat grind blade, right, Ed?
Correct.
And that's the same type of blade. Look at that brown. Isn't that brown cool looking? There's the gray handle. Gosh, these are going to be huge sellers on the Spyderco lineup. I am stoked to bring you this video. It's going to be an update to the Spyderco Delica lineup. There has been an update in both the Endura and Delica series. I'm going to break each into its own video because I wish to promote each knife individually, and guys might want to search it out individually. You remember these knives, dudes? And hello world, this is Nutnfancy running the Nutnfancy project. Knife review time. Delica 3 in the foreground, Delica 4, the successor, in the background. Broke out into their own review September 2008 by me, Nutnfancy, so you guys could have a reference EDC video of what I consider some of the best in the world everyday carry knives. And yes, there are lots, I know. And no, I'm not type or brand myopic, but I sure am a Spyderco fan. You've seen that in lots of videos. I love the way Spyderco does their blades. I think their quality matches anybody's in the world. Their steel choices, their design. Stop me before I get carried away. That's right, crazy. I mentioned that in the video of this, the Delica 3, Delica 4, reference EDC. There were a couple of improvements I mentioned in that video that I think could be made. I won't wax prophetic there, you can look the video up. But now there is an update to this line, and that's what this video is about. Drum roll please, and you saw him at 2010 shot. Good looking, even more functional, even more perfected for the EDC roll. It is the full flat ground Delica. There it is in purple. There it is in blue. Two great colors in the Nutnfancy project for the review. Wow, very impressed. I think you saw my excitement over the revelation of these blades at 2010 shot when we talked to Ed Shimp, Mr. Sal Glesser himself. I love them. Love them. Let me jump ahead to the full flat grind because that's the biggest difference in these knives. And again, talking points, we'll just go steel blade shape. Look at that. I'm a big fan of FFG, full flat grinding. That's no secret. I've said that in many reviews. I've advocated such a grind in all types of different knives. And I'm so excited to see that Spyderco has come out with these versions of both the Delica and another video that I'll do, the Endura, to give the cutting performance, improved cutting performance, and that's just my mileage to these knives. Let's reference the Delica 4 by way of comparison and contrast. There's a saber grind on the top, the FFG on the bottom, both Delica 4s. Great, great knives. I still like the saber grind. It's very functional. I'll stand behind everything I ever said about the Delica 4 saber ground version. Excellent. If given a choice, I much prefer the FFG. Hands down. It's a better slicer. It cuts better. I think it looks better. And it has the added advantage of being even lighter weight. This is why. Look at the thickness of the blades. And I hope the camera can focus. It's hard. Let me put my hand. Actually, I'll just put this piece of... There we go, like that. See the thickness? There's a saber ground version on the right, full flat ground version on the left. Comes that nice, sharp, delicate tip. Sal Glesser mentioned in our discussion at SHOT Show why he kept the saber grind for so long. And Sal, weigh in the comments of this video if you want to correct anything I say. I'm trying to get it right. He wants to have that spine maximum thickness to prevent bending or abuse on a lot of the blades that feature the saber grinding. You can see indeed that that spine is thicker. The tip is going to be stronger on the Delica on the right, the Delica 4 saber versus FFG. Okay, I understand that. In this POU, I will place solidly as a utility blade you carry daily on your person. As a civilian, a military dude, you know, medical professional, maybe a police officer, you need a small, lightweight, readily accessible cutting tool. These excel at that. That's a POU, EDC blade. In that POU, I much prefer this grind. I like the sharper tip. I like it can dig out splinters better. It can open packages, slice food a little bit better in my experience. It's just unsurpassed in its cutting capabilities, the full flat grind. I'm very excited about it. The steel choice, still outstanding. I've talked a lot about the VG10 steel. It's rust resistant. It takes such that fine edge. It's easy to sharpen. It's durable. It won't crack or chip out on you easily. Big fan from years and years of my own use. Great choice. So, and I think I mentioned this. Yeah, it is lighter weight due to that skinniness or the thinness of the FFG blade. Specifically, the Delica FFG version is going to weigh 2.2 ounces. Delica 4 Saber Ground is going to be 2.6 ounces. And then that older style Delica 3 was a flat 2 ounces. But this doesn't have nested stainless steel liners. This one does. That is extremely light, especially for the strength I think that the blade will achieve, given, the FFG limitations, of course. Big home run on the weight. The blade shape is nothing that we haven't seen before. It's the standard Spyderco leaf shape, very functional, wearing a enlarged 13 millimeter deployment hole. I think the regular Delica 4 has the same size hole as well. The Delica 3 is like a 12 millimeter or so. But that makes it a little bit more accessible if you're wearing gloves. The speed at which the blade comes out, like pretty much all Spydercos, nice and fast. Lockup, solid. Left and right, up and down, no issues whatsoever. If you do have some lateral movement, you have an adjustable pivot point on the Delica 4 FFG. Easy. One of the criticisms I leveled towards the Delica 3, and it was kind of moot at the time because the Delica 3 had been discontinued as of September 2008, it didn't have jimping. I said I was going to do something about it, and lo and behold, this is what I did. I was going to put that skateboard mod on it, but with such a sharply inclined ramp, it didn't stick very good. So I just busted out my Dremel tool, and I jimped it myself. Yeah, that's kind of a ratty looking job, huh? I'll tell you what though, it works. It's nice and sharp jimping. I covered it all, or continue it all the way to the spine on top. Love it. Good news is you won't have to do that. Actually, you wouldn't have to do it on the Delica 4 or the FFG version. And I will say the jimping is perfect. Perfect. And guys who laugh and say, Nutnfancy, you're always about the jimping. Huh. Looks like they're the manufacturers are kind of coming along with the jimping. There it is. Not just this knife. Several other knives are including it as well in their updated versions. And I absolutely love it. It really locks that thumb in there on the thumb ramp. Do you need it for an EDC blade? Absolutely. It's control of your cutting blade. It's just controlling the cutting surface. I like also coming to the side, just locking my thumb into the deployment hole. That's a great way to control the Delica. Or you can go topside with the jimping. Great job though. Handle material and the handle colorations are exciting improvements to the Delica. Don't you think? Just gorgeous. There's the purple on the right. They have blue. They have green. Here comes a picture of a brown one I had in inventory for a while. I love that brown coloration. I was doing a flashlight test at the time. Isn't that cool looking? I just love the brown. The gray coloration is also available. All of them are just excellent. Some guys will say, well, Nutnfancy, what's your favorite color? All right, here it comes. I'll tell you. Blue, right here. Does that surprise you guys? Blue. I just love this bright blue. I think it's good looking. It's something different. Second favorite will be brown. And then probably purple, gray, then green. Or maybe green, then gray. Ooh, sneak peek of the Endura in those colorations. There you go. Look for that video. Great colorations. They have that bi-directional texturing, which is very effective at locking the thumb in on the side. On the top side, you have some kind of aesthetic jimping in the FRN, fiber reinforced nylon, or fiberglass reinforced nylon. Not too effective, but that jimping up here is just excellent. For such a small knife, it's plenty. Lock back design, and I noticed that it's radius, so it's comfortable. There's no sharp edges on it. Where did that Delica 3 go? There it is. The Delica 3 kind of had a sharp edge on the David Boy lock back here. Not a big deal. So we're talking about ergonomics, I guess, at this point. By the way, just like the regular Saber Ground Delica 4, you can take the knife apart. I don't recommend it unless you really need to do it. I did it with an Enduro one time, and it is kind of a pain in the butt to put back together. Heads up, heads up. handle shape's excellent, just like it's always been. There's that clip. Again, like I've said in other vids, Spyderco gets the clip so right, because they give you options. We can position it to any of the four corners of the knife. You want tip down? Go tip down. You're a lefty, got you covered. You're a righty like me, like to do tip up carriage like that, because to me that's a faster deployment for the way I use my knife. There you go. A little bit will stick out of the pocket, just about right. It's not super deep, but a lot of guys like to have something to grab onto. I think some dudes misunderstand when I talk about deep carry too. I'm talking about losing your knife. You know, maybe in some tactical roles, deep carry is appropriate so the knife is not seen. Mostly though, when I talk about deep carry, I'm talking about not losing your knife, which has happened hiking with me several times. Great clip. Same Spyderco clip we've seen lots and lots. Perfectly designed. It's strong. The blackened clip contrasts nicely against the handle. Durability. We're flying down this review, dudes. A lot of it I already talked about in the other Delica 3 and 4 video. Durability is excellent. Unless you abuse this knife, I think your Delica 4 full flat ground version will last your lifetime. I laugh because sometimes I've said that and guys have emailed me or contacted me and then they go, well, dude, I totally broke my knife. Weird things can happen. But I will say overall, the Spyderco knives, just like other quality manufacturers, of which I've discussed at length, are excellent. They'll last forever, assuming, again, you don't do something dumb with them. Value, around $50 price point. Okay, look in annotation. That's where I recommend still at getting your blades, and some news there for you too, maybe. $50, you can beat it. I'm not going to lie to you. I always keep it straight here in the Nutnfancy project. I like saving you money. I like hooking you into very good, high quality gear that will last you forever and will serve your good purposes forever. So you can beat it with lots of other knife choices underneath that $50 price point. Here's what I say though, getting to the cool factor perhaps. One is, as of 2010, at the time I'm filming this, May 2010, we're being told these colorations are going to be limited. Okay? Maybe the FFG version of the Delica will be limited. I think what it is a trial balloon by Spyderco and Sal and company. And they're going to see if they sell really well. If they sell great, maybe they'll make it a permanent addition to this Endura and Delica lineup. We'll see. But I say score it. Get your favorite color, maybe a couple favorite colors. If you can swing it, you won't be sorry. Cool factor is excellent. They're good looking blades. Maybe in some localities, a black looking blade might have, I don't know, a more sinister connotation. I have a hard time believing that, but some guys talk about it. How about this? Purple? Dude, that's like Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory. That's like happiness. It's happiness in an EDC blade. Awesome. Cool factor is just maxed out. So the value for what you're getting, that is a full flat ground VG10 blade with razor sharpness out of the box, by the way, if I didn't mention that. Standard for Spyderco, pretty much. Worth it. Solid lockup, wicked fast deployment, great colors, perfection on the jimping, Sal. Perfection. You just got it right. It's a slam dunk. One of my highest recommended EDC blades. That's a Delica 4 full flat ground as of 2010. Nutnfancy short knife review. Check it.